There comes a moment in your life when you realize that nothing outside of you can give you the peace, the clarity, the strength, or the direction your soul is searching for. You can chase success, chase approval, chase comfort, chase validation, and still wake up feeling empty, overwhelmed, or disconnected. And then, in the middle of all that noise, there's a whisper, a quiet, gentle pull inside your spirit saying, "Come back to me." That whisper is not from the world, that whisper is God, and every time you ignore it, you drift further from the life you are meant to live. But every time you listen, even for a moment, something miraculous begins to shift. Because the greatest transformation in your life does not begin with action. It begins with alignment. It begins with intentionally spending time with God every single day. Most people spend their entire lives plugged into everything except the source of their existence. They wake up and instantly connect to their phones, their distractions, their fears, their to-do lists, their responsibilities, but not to God. They rush into the day carrying yesterday's stress, last week's worry, and last year's wounds, never realizing that a few minutes with the divine could have erased all of it. When you start your day disconnected, you walk through the world reacting to life. But when you start your day with God, you walk through the world creating life. You manifest differently, you think differently, you speak differently, you attract differently, and people can feel it because something in you becomes grounded, calm, centered, and powerful in a way that the world cannot explain. This speech is for the ones who are ready to awaken, the ones who know they are meant for more, the ones who are tired of living on autopilot, tired of feeling spiritually empty, tired of depending on external things to feel whole. This speech is for the ones who want to manifest with intention, with faith, with alignment, with divine connection. Because the truth is simple, manifestation is not just about desire, it is about energy. And there is no stronger energy than the energy you create when you spend time with God. Today you will learn why this daily connection is not just a habit, it is your spiritual superpower, why it shifts your vibration, why it raises your consciousness, why it unlocks paths you could never see while rushing. God is not distant. God is not silent. God is not waiting for you to be perfect. God is waiting for you to be present. And when you become present, truly present, you will feel something inside you expand, awaken, and rise into a level of clarity and strength you didn't know you had. Your greatest manifestations, your greatest breakthroughs, your greatest transformations will never come from force. They will come from alignment. And alignment begins with one sacred choice, to spend time with God every day. Let us begin. There is a power within you that did not begin with you, a power that flows from the divine source that created every breath you take. You are not separate from God, you are an expression of God. Every talent, every dream, every desire placed in your heart is connected to this inner source. And yet, most people walk through life believing they must create everything on their own. They believe they must manufacture strength, produce clarity, and force their manifestation into existence. But manifestation does not begin with force. It begins with remembering who your source truly is. When you start your day by turning inward, by acknowledging the presence of God within you, your entire reality shifts. You no longer chase outcomes from a place of fear. You create outcomes from a place of power. You no longer beg the world for direction. You receive direction from the source that knows every step of your path. Connecting with God daily reminds you that you are not limited by circumstances, not defined by the past, and not controlled by external forces. Your life is shaped by the energy you carry. And that energy becomes unstoppable when rooted in divine connection. Many people talk about manifestation as if it begins with affirmations or visualization. But true manifestation begins with alignment to the divine. When your energy matches the frequency of God's presence, you attract opportunities, ideas, people, and outcomes that resonate with clarity and purpose. You become a magnet for the very things you used to chase. You stop trying to force life to happen and instead allow life to unfold with you, through you, and for you. Spending time with God helps you remember that you are never alone in this journey. Even when things feel uncertain, even when challenges arise, Even when you doubt your own strength, there is a guidance within you, softly directing your steps. But you can only hear this guidance when you slow down enough to connect. Without connection, you rely on your limited mind. With connection, you access divine intelligence. This is why your inner world matters more than anything you do on the outside. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, your energy, all of these are shaped by your relationship with the source within you. The deeper that relationship becomes, the more powerful your manifestations become. You begin to attract from authenticity instead of desperation. You begin to act from intuition instead of fear. You begin to move with confidence instead of uncertainty. And the truth is this: God is not far. God is not complicated. God is not hiding from you. The divine lives within your awareness, your breath, your intuition, your stillness. The only question is, are you giving yourself the time to feel it? Because once you do, you will never again try to create life alone. You will know deeply and unshakably that your source is within you, guiding every step, shaping every blessing, and preparing every manifestation long before you ask for it. Your entire day is shaped by the energy you begin with. If you start your day overwhelmed, rushed, or distracted, the rest of the day mirrors that frequency. But when you begin your day with God, you create a spiritual foundation so strong that nothing can shake you. Daily connection is not about ritual, it is about alignment. It is about choosing the energy you want to live from, instead of allowing the world to choose it for you. When you spend time with God every day, your mind becomes clearer. Your energy becomes lighter. Your intuition becomes sharper. You begin to see life not from fear, but from faith. Problems no longer feel like obstacles, they feel like assignments. Challenges no longer drain you, they shape you. You start recognizing that everything happening in your life has purpose, direction, and divine timing. This daily connection changes how you manifest. Without connection, your desires are tangled with fear, doubt, and resistance. But with connection, your desires align with clarity, confidence, and inner knowing. You begin to manifest from flow instead of force. You begin to trust the process instead of rushing it. You begin to open your heart instead of closing your spirit. Daily connection also protects your energy. The world tries to pull you in 1,000 directions: opinions, expectations, news, stress, responsibilities. But when you have spent time with the divine, these things cannot control you. You carry a shield of peace that external chaos cannot penetrate. You respond instead of react. You observe instead of absorb. You stay centered even when everything around you is chaotic. And the most beautiful part, spending time with God rewires your emotional state. Anxiety softens, fear dissolves, doubt fades. Negative thoughts lose their power. Your vibration rises, and with it, the quality of your manifestations rises too. You become magnetic to blessings, opportunities, breakthroughs, and ideas, not because you are lucky, but because you are aligned. This daily connection also reminds you of your worth. In a world that constantly tells you that you are not enough, God whispers the truth. You are capable. You are guided. You are chosen. You are loved. When you start your day hearing this truth instead of the world's noise, your confidence becomes unshakable. Daily connection is not a small habit. It is the habit that strengthens every other habit. It is the practice that elevates your mindset, your spirit, your energy, and your manifestations. It changes how you walk, how you speak, how you create, and how you believe. Because once your soul is aligned with God, your life begins to align with your purpose. Stillness is not an escape from life. It is the gateway into the life you are meant to live. It is the place where your mind stops shouting and your soul starts speaking. It is where clarity replaces confusion, where intuition replaces fear, and where divine guidance becomes louder than the noise of the world. Most people avoid stillness because they are afraid of what they might hear in it. They fear their own thoughts, their own truth, their own emotions. But stillness is not your enemy. Stillness is your path to power. It is in stillness that you reconnect with God, the source of all creation and the source of every manifestation. When you enter stillness, you enter alignment. You step away from the pressures of the external world and return to the energy that creates worlds, the energy that flows through you. You stop living from your mind and begin living from your spirit. And the moment your spirit becomes involved, manifestation happens faster, smoother, and with more clarity. Because manifestation does not come from overthinking, it comes from alignment, and alignment comes from stillness. In stillness, you stop forcing, you stop grabbing, you stop panicking, you stop trying to control outcomes that are already guided by divine intelligence. You surrender the struggle, and in that surrender, something extraordinary happens. Resistance dissolves. Every manifestation you desire becomes blocked by resistance. Doubt, fear, impatience, overthinking, and emotional tension. Stillness is the doorway that dissolves all of it. In stillness, your energy rises, your frequency shifts, your heart opens, and your desires, which once felt far, now feel close, attainable, already yours. Stillness also sharpens your intuition. When your mind is loud, intuition becomes faint. When your life is fast, guidance becomes difficult to hear. But in stillness, you hear what you were too distracted to notice. The inner pull toward the right direction, the gentle nudge away from the wrong one, the sparks of inspiration that lead to breakthroughs. Intuition is the voice of God speaking through you, and stillness is where that voice becomes undeniable. When you spend time in stillness every day, you begin to notice that life operates differently. Ideas arrive effortlessly, problems resolve without pressure, manifestations unfold without force. You become more aware of synchronicities, those divine signs and alignments that show you you're on the right path. You start attracting people, opportunities, and outcomes that match your elevated energy. And this doesn't happen by accident. It happens because stillness raises your vibration into harmony with the life you desire. Stillness is not about escaping the world. It is about anchoring yourself so deeply in God's presence that the world no longer controls you. It is where you remember who you are beyond your fears and limitations. It is where you regain your strength. It is where you reconnect with the truth that you are guided every moment of your life. And the more time you spend in stillness, the more your manifestations will flow, not because you are wishing harder, but because you are aligned deeper. The world teaches you to move faster. God teaches you to move inward. And everything you want, the clarity, the confidence, the breakthrough, the manifestation, begins the moment you embrace stillness as your daily spiritual practice. Fear, doubt, and stress are not signs that you are weak. They are signs that you are disconnected, because when you are connected to God, these emotions lose their power. They may appear, but they cannot control you. They may whisper, but they cannot define you. They may challenge you, but they cannot break you. Divine presence does not remove challenges from your path. It transforms the way you walk through them. It turns fear into awareness, doubt into faith, and stress into strength. And the moment you reconnect with God, even briefly, you feel this shift happening in your spirit. When you spend time with God, fear softens. Fear thrives in a noisy mind, but in a connected mind, fear has nowhere to hide. God reminds you that you are supported, protected, and guided, even when you cannot see the full picture. Fear tells you you're alone. God tells you you're never alone. And when the voice of fear meets the presence of God, fear dissolves. It loses its authority. It loses its meaning. Because divine presence always speaks louder than fear, but only when you choose to listen. Doubt also begins to fade in the presence of God. Doubt lives in your mind, but truth lives in your spirit. And when you spend time with God each day, you awaken that truth. You remember your worth. You remember your purpose. You remember that every desire placed in your heart was placed there for a reason. Doubt says you can't. God says, I already prepared the way. Doubt comes from disconnection. Confidence comes from alignment. And once you align with God's presence, you begin moving through life with a quiet, unshakable certainty. Stress, too, transforms when you reconnect with the divine. Stress is the result of carrying more weight than your spirit was designed to hold. You were never meant to carry every worry, every responsibility, every burden alone. When you spend time with God, you release this weight. You surrender what is too heavy for the human mind and place it in the hands of the divine. You begin to feel lighter. You begin to think clearer. You begin to breathe deeper. This is not weakness, this is wisdom. The moment you stop trying to control everything is the moment God can work through you. Divine presence changes your emotional landscape. Instead of reacting impulsively, you respond intentionally. Instead of breaking under pressure, you rise above it. Instead of drowning in anxiety, you float in faith. And the more time you spend with God, the stronger this spiritual transformation becomes. Fear will visit you, but it will not stay. Doubt will appear, but it will not root itself. Stress will arise, but it will not consume you. Because every day you choose connection, you choose peace over panic, clarity over confusion, faith over fear. This daily divine presence also strengthens your manifestations. When fear, doubt, and stress fade, your energy becomes clearer. Your intentions become purer. Your vibration becomes higher. And a clear, high vibration is the foundation of every powerful manifestation. The universe responds not to your words, but to your energy. And nothing elevates your energy more than spending time with the one who created it. Spending time with God every day does not require hours of complex rituals or elaborate practices. It begins with intention, a conscious decision to pause, to reconnect, and to align your energy with the divine source within you. Every day presents an opportunity to reclaim your power, to elevate your vibration, and to open yourself to guidance, clarity, and manifestation. The key is consistency, because transformation comes not from grand gestures, but from small, intentional acts repeated daily. Even 10 minutes of dedicated spiritual practice can shift your energy, sharpen your intuition, and prepare you to live fully in alignment with your highest purpose. Begin your morning by simply pausing. Before the demands of the day pull you into distraction, take a deep breath and recognize that you are not alone, that you are connected to infinite intelligence. Sit in silence, close your eyes, and allow your mind to settle. Feel your breath as it moves through your body. This simple act of stillness grounds you in the present moment and creates space for divine guidance to emerge. In this sacred space, your heart opens, and you become receptive to intuition, inspiration, and clarity that will shape your day with ease and flow. Next, cultivate gratitude. Speak or think words of genuine thankfulness for the gift of life, for the opportunities you have, and for the lessons that shape your growth. Gratitude is one of the most powerful spiritual practices because it shifts your energy from lack to abundance. When you begin your day acknowledging what is already good in your life, you signal to the universe that you are ready to receive more. Gratitude aligns your vibration with the frequency of blessings and opens the doorway for manifestation to accelerate effortlessly. Set your intentions with clarity. Ask God to guide you in alignment with your highest purpose. Visualize how you want your day to unfold and the qualities you wish to embody. Calmness, courage, patience, love, or confidence. Speak your intentions aloud or silently in your mind. Doing so strengthens your connection with the divine and reinforces your conscious choice to create your life rather than react to circumstances. When you set your intentions in alignment with God's presence, the universe responds in harmony, guiding you toward opportunities, synchronicities, and actions that support your goals. Integrate reflection into your routine. Take a moment to observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment. Notice when your mind drifts toward fear, doubt, or negativity, and gently redirect it toward faith, trust, and positivity. Reflection allows you to release mental and emotional clutter that blocks divine guidance and also helps you recognize areas where you are resisting your own growth so you can consciously choose surrender instead of struggle. The practice of self-reflection, paired with divine connection, strengthens your ability to manifest with clarity and power. Finally, make a daily commitment to act from alignment. The spiritual practice is incomplete if it remains only in thought or meditation. Carry the energy you cultivate in the morning into your day. Move with awareness. Speak with intention. Make decisions that reflect the guidance you receive. The more you integrate your spiritual connection into action, the more natural it becomes to live in alignment with God daily. This consistent practice elevates your vibration, transforms challenges into opportunities, and magnetizes your life with the blessings you desire. The beauty of a daily spiritual routine is that it is adaptable to you. It can be 10 minutes or 30, silent meditation or prayer, journaling or visualization. What matters is presence, intention, and consistency. Each moment you dedicate to God strengthens the connection between your inner and outer worlds. Over time, this daily practice becomes the foundation for your manifestations, the source of your peace, and the anchor for your motivation. The divine does not ask for perfection, only presence, attention, and openness. By choosing to spend time with God every day, you awaken your highest potential and allow the life you've always desired to flow naturally into your experience. When you spend time with God every day, your life begins to shift in ways that feel effortless, inspired, and magical. Miracles are not random events, they are the natural outcome of alignment. When your energy, your thoughts, and your actions resonate with the divine, the universe responds. Opportunities appear that you never anticipated. People enter your life at the perfect moment. Challenges dissolve or transform into lessons. Circumstances that once seemed impossible suddenly open pathways. This is not luck. This is the power of becoming a magnet for miracles through daily divine connection. Miracles occur when your vibration rises above fear, doubt, and resistance. Every time you sit in stillness, speak with gratitude, or act in alignment with divine guidance, you shift your energy. You move from a state of lack to a state of abundance. You move from limitation to possibility. You move from reaction to creation. And when your energy vibrates at this elevated frequency, you begin attracting events, people, and opportunities that mirror that vibration. Miracles follow your energy, not your wishes. The more aligned you are with God, the stronger the pull becomes. The process of becoming a magnet for miracles is simple, yet profound. First, you must believe that miracles are possible, not just in theory, but as a natural part of your life. Faith is the soil where miracles grow. Without faith, your energy remains closed and blessings remain out of reach. With faith, even the smallest sign can expand into something extraordinary. Each day that you spend time with God, that faith is strengthened. Each day you align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with divine presence, your energy becomes more magnetic. Next, you must cultivate gratitude. Gratitude amplifies your ability to receive. When you are thankful for what is, you create space for what is coming. Miracles cannot flow into a heart that is focused on lack, but a heart overflowing with gratitude attracts infinite possibilities. Each morning, as you connect with God, give thanks for the miracles that are already present: your breath, your health, your relationships, your opportunities. Doing this primes your energy to draw in even greater blessings. Action is the final step. Miracles are attracted, but they are also revealed through inspired action. When you act from a place of divine alignment, the universe conspires in your favor. You notice doors opening that you never saw before. You find solutions that you never imagined. You meet people who accelerate your progress. You move with ease rather than struggle. This is the difference between wishing for miracles and becoming the magnet that pulls them into your life effortlessly. Miracles also emerge when you surrender. Let go of the need to control, to force, to predict. Trust that God is orchestrating everything in your life perfectly, even if you cannot see the full plan. Surrender is the doorway through which the miraculous flows. The moment you stop resisting and start trusting, the invisible energy of the universe begins to rearrange itself in your favor. What once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. What once seemed distant arrives at your door. Finally, understand that daily connection with God transforms your identity. You stop seeing yourself as limited, small, or powerless. You begin to recognize that you are a co-creator with the divine. Every thought, every feeling, every choice shapes your reality. And when you live as a conscious co-creator, miracles become your normal experience. Life no longer feels like a series of random events. It feels like a divine symphony where every note, every moment, and every blessing is perfectly timed and orchestrated for your highest good. Becoming a magnet for miracles is not a distant goal. It is available today, in this moment, through your daily connection with God. Each breath, each prayer, each minute of stillness strengthens your alignment. And as your alignment grows, miracles grow, not as exceptions, but as the natural flow of your life. Choose to spend time with God every day. Choose alignment over chaos. Choose faith over fear. And watch as your life transforms, your manifestations accelerate, and miracles become your everyday reality.